My name is John Su. You may have seen me before competing on some of the national competition circuits, or maybe in 2000 on ESPN2 where I competed for the ISK World Weapons Champion, where I won with the double nunchucks, or again in 2003 for the ISK World Weapons Championships where I competed using the double chain whip. In the programs to follow, I'm going to take you through an exciting tour of the chain whip. There are three main types of Chinese weapons. You have the short, long, and flexible. The chain whip is considered a flexible weapon. You can also hear it called a soft weapon as well. The Chinese name for chain whip is actually Zhou Jie Bian, which actually directly translates as 9-section whip. But most commonly, we hear it called the chain whip or whip chain. Now, in the ancient times, the chain whip was a popular weapon because it's very flexible and concealable. They could fold the links up and hide it in the sleeves of their robes, in their shirts, or wear it around their waist. The last link actually points to a dart, so that way it's sharp, so they could use it for striking. You can also use the chain whip for hooking, for binding, for whipping, and for spinning and blocking. The chain whip is a very exciting weapon because of its flexible nature. There's really an endless amount of possibilities you can do with the weapon, as far as doing it around your body, around your neck, around your arms, around your legs, even under your body, and through jumping acrobatic techniques. Although the weapon is flexible, you need to be very careful while using it because as it spins, it's very likely that it may be able to come and back and hit you. So you have to be very careful, treat it with respect, and it will respect you. Now, before we get started with any kind of martial arts training, it's very important to make sure you stretch and warm up properly. Now, with the chain whip, it's actually a great thing because now you can even use the weapon as a tool to help you warm up and stretch. I'm going to go ahead and teach you a couple of those basic stretches. First one, hold the chain whip, one hand at the handle, the other hand at the point. Bring it up over your head and just stretch back. Okay? Stretch out your chest and shoulder muscles. Nice and relaxed, all the way back. Now you can also pull it over to the side, across, to your left, and also stretching out that right. Now from here, we're going to have to take it over and wrap it around your left wrist. Okay? Wrap it around, bring it in behind you. And we're going to, from here, stretch up. So use that chain whip to stretch out that arm, just as so. Okay? Bring it around, wrap it around on this side here, bring it to the back, and stretch it out. Stretch out that arm. We can also pull it down and stretch out the top arm. And the last one is one you want to use to warm up that waist and stretch it out, as well as get the arms and upper body moving. Just spread your feet apart, holding the chain whip out, reaching down, and you're going to make a circle all the way across, around, down, and to the other side. Again, coming back the other direction, around, down, and to the right foot. Around, back, to the left foot. Around, back, and to the right foot. And just relax here. You can rotate your shoulders back, rotate your shoulders forward, as so. So just as a review, first one, hold it out, bring it up over your head, and stretch behind you. Second one, bring it over, stretching to the side. Then to the other side, stretching that arm, keeping your arm straight in this motion. Now go ahead and wrap it around your wrist, bring it in behind you, and pull that arm up. Stretch it out, stretch it out, stretch it out. The other side, wrap it around, bring it in behind you, and stretch it up. And down. Now from here, bringing it down, feet apart, stretching down, and making circles. 1, change directions, 2, 3, and 4. And up, and you're ready to begin. I would recommend you do about a 10 repetition or hold a 10 count for each one of the stretches. That way it sufficiently will stretch your muscles and warm your body up, ready to start your work. The chain whip is made up of 3 main parts. You have your tip, which comes to a point here. Then you have your body of the chain here, and then you have your handle. Notice my handle is wrapped with like a tennis racket grip. That will help with sweat absorption, so you have a better grip over the weapon, and also so that way when you get moving faster, the momentum doesn't let it fly out of your hand. Also notice the flag at the end here. The flag is used to help keep control of the weapon as it's spinning throughout the air, and also creates a noise, so for competition, it's a very good attention grabber. To hold the chain whip, you want to wrap each link one by one together in this manner. Then you can hold it together in one hand. Notice how it's very concealable. Without knowing, you may not even notice it's in my hand at all. And then from this position, you can easily throw it out. Right now, I'm going to take you guys into the beginning of the basic spins. The first spin with the chain whip is your forward spin. The forward spin, I'll go ahead and aim straight towards the camera here, and just take it in a straightforward direction, this way. Now, as a beginner, what I like to do is I actually like to shorten the chain whip down here. At a shorter length, the chain whip is actually more easy to control. So from here, you can see the side view. The shorter rotation, I'm able to control it a lot easier, put less power into it and less strength. What's important to remember is to make sure that the chain whip stays parallel with your body. See this motion. If you get it moving at an angle, then it has a higher chance of hitting your pant leg or even coming up and hitting your leg. So try to keep it as parallel as possible in the forward direction. And then to stop it for now, just go ahead to let the momentum drop down to your side here. So once again, from the side view, you hold your arm out. Notice my palm is facing up, and I start the circular momentum. Spinning forward and dropping down. This momentum. Now this spin, notice how right now I have my left leg in front. I can also do the same thing from here with my right leg in front. When I do this, my arms have to come in front of my body towards my center line and spin this way. So both times, the chain whip is going away from my body towards the forward direction. You can see the side view. My right foot is in front, my hand is in front, and spin. And down. Now these forward spins, you have your left side and right sides in front. You can also do a backward spin. When you do your backward spin, you want to do the same motion, but this time the chain whip is going to come towards you. So you're going to let your arm drift out in front and pull back in to start the momentum, coming back. And again, let it drop down. Side view, left side in front, hand up, drift your arm out away and pull back towards you. And start the backward spin. And drop down. Now again, your backwards, you can also take and put your other foot in front, so your right foot in front. So you're going to turn your hand over, you're going to drift out away and pull back towards you, starting your backwards momentum for your backwards spin. Again, notice how the chain whip is staying parallel with my body. And let it drop. Okay? Side view, right foot in front, hand drifts away and pull back. And down. Good. Okay, now that you've felt the momentum of the forward and the backward spins, what we're going to do is we're going to go, before we extend the chain whip out, I like to use a training tool, which is a rope, which is a little bit more forgiving when you're doing the chain whip, to practice it, because it's a longer length, closer to the length of your normal chain whip, and you can practice the spins and not be apprehensive about it. So let's start with your left leg in front, go through that forward vertical spin, going forward. Notice my momentum and the parallel to my body. Nice and relaxed. I'm not tense, just relax. Relax your shoulders, let them drop. Your arm relax, and let the momentum carry the chain whip around. And dropping down. Now turning on side view, pulling the arm back, and then away. Starting that momentum, going straight up and down, and letting it drop. Good. Now let's go ahead and put our right leg in front, doing the same thing. This time with our hand turned over, we're going to pull it in and go down. Again, hand towards our center line of our body, so our spine straight, chain whip parallel to that center line. And dropping down. Now side view, pulling in and out, and forward spin, and down. You can repeat these same motions using your backward spin. For example, left side in front, going back towards you, backward spin. And then moving on the side view, forward and back, backward spin, and down. And then also using your right leg in front. From here, turning the hand over and pulling out, pulling back in, and starting your spin. Again, remember the chain as it's going, or in this case the rope, will be going towards you when you do your backward spin. And down. Side view, out and back. And down. Good. Once you feel comfortable using your rope at a longer distance, then you're ready to go ahead and move into your chain. Now when you go into a chain, remember you don't want to go too fast, too quickly. Although the momentum of the whip, you want to start going faster, faster, faster. Try to keep it and control it to a slower speed in the beginning. That way you have practiced your control and you practice the angle in which the chain whip will spin. So put our left side in front, put it down, doing our forward spin first to the front. Nice and relaxed motion. And down, turning a side view, hand is out, it pulls in and spinning to the front. Notice my palm is facing in the up direction on this side. Chain whip is shooting out away from our body. And down. So now, putting your right leg in front, turning the hand over, pulling the hand out, pulling in, and going towards the forward vertical spin. And down, showing the side view, hand out, right leg in front, body straight, pulling in, and forward spin. And down. Now you may ask, what about this other hand? What should I do with this hand? Well, there's a couple of things you can do with it. One, you can put it here on your waist for a relaxed position, so that way it's not too tense. Also, you can put it here. Some like to call this the home position, okay? Or pull your hand back. So you can pull your hand back and you can hold it here. Others may put it here at the shoulder to show a little bit more of a formal position. So as you're doing your spin, you have a formal block position with your left hand. Or you can do the relaxed position, or you can turn that into a fist in your home position. And down. Good. Same motion with the backward spins. Okay, left side in front, hand going out, and pulling back in. Now notice the red flag, how it's coming towards me, in your backward spin. And down, turning on the side, shooting out, and pulling in. And down, taking right leg in front, turning hand over, and chain whip here, going out and back in, lining up with our center line, parallel with our body. And down, and on the angle. Ready? Out and back. 1, 2, and 3 spins and down. Good. Very nice. So those are your basic vertical spins to the front and to the back. Now what we'd like to do now is we'd like to take those two motions of our forward spin, one with the palm up and the other with the palm down, and combine them together into our figure 8 motion. Okay? We're going to start with our left side in front, a very natural position. It's also important that your chain whip is not too long, so when you're spinning, you're not constantly hitting the floor. If you're hitting the floor, there could be two problems. One, your hand could be too low, or two, your chain whip may be too long, so you might have to find a shorter chain whip. Okay? Your hand should be right about solar plexus level in the center of your body. Now from here, on your figure 8, we're going to take it out. Start by doing our forward vertical spin. Now, when we get ready to cross over, we're just going to let the chain whip cross to our body and turn our palm down in this motion here. Still going forward, but now on the other side of our body. And now coming back. Now what we're going to do is a little training tool like I like to do for this is let it drop. You're going to do a 3 spin on one side, turn over, do a 3 spin on the other side. So as we'll count it out. We start out, pull in, and we do 1, 2, 3 spins, turn over. 1, 2, 3 spins, turn over. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and down. That gets us used to the turning over motion. So we make it nice and smooth. When you do it, you want to be cautious that you don't let your hand jerk too fast. If you jerk too fast, it's going to cause the chain to kink up and also lose the direction. So it won't be a smooth motion. You want a nice, smooth motion. So ready? Going with our 3 count, spinning forward. 1, 2, 3, and turn over. 1, 2, 3, turn over. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3, and down. Once you start feeling comfortable with the 3 count spin, turning over, you want to take it down to a 2 count spin. So let's practice. Now, chain whip out, pull in and out. 1, 2, turn over. 1, 2, turn over. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and down. So you notice the rotations is getting less and less. It's more difficult to be able to turn your hand over because you're thinking spinning, you're not, you're thinking turning your hand over. So give it time. You can even start with a 4 count and then work yourself down to a 3 and then a 2. And your final goal would be your 1 count. So from here, take the chain whip out and 1 spin in on either side, turning over with each spin. And this is your figure 8 motion. Notice my left side is in front right now. This can also be done with my right leg in front. Same motion. You're going to start with on your right side and spin, crossing over. 1 spin on each side of your body. Now notice my motion is not too big. If I make a real big motion, then I might have a chance, maybe I'm going to hit the ground. Okay? Or maybe if the ceiling is not too high, I may hit the ceiling. You don't need to make too big a motion. Just keep it nice here, center your body with a nice relaxed position. And down. Now let's go ahead and take a look at it on the side view. Okay? We'll do our left side in front first though. So when we do left side, I'll turn this side so it's easier for the camera to see. We're going to take it out, pull in, and forward. Okay? Now it's going in the forward direction, vertical spin. Now I want to take it into my figure 8. So I'm just going to take it over and spin. Doing 1 spin on either side. Now notice when I do this one, how I'm turning my waist a little bit. The turning of my waist will help the chain whip clear my body. If I stay straight, if I don't move my arm enough, then the chain whip could come straight back right towards me. So what you would like to do is move your hand slightly to the side and also move your waist a little bit so that way you can clear your body with each spin. Clear your body this way. Now be aware that you don't do too much because if you do too much, then it's going to slow down the look of your weapon as well. You want a minimum motion, but just enough to get it by. Going across. Now let's go ahead and do the right leg in front, side view. From here, starting out, right side spin, and going across. Doing your basic figure 8 motion. And down. Again, just letting it drop to your side. Now that's your forward figure 8 motion, both with your left and your right legs in front. Now the backwards figure 8 motion is going to work the same way. We're going to start out with that 3 turnover spins. Okay? So we start left side in front again, hand out. We're going to go out and pull back towards us, going into our backward spin. Now we count 1, 2, 3 spins. On the third spin, we want to turn it over. 1, 2, 3, turn over. 1, 2, 3, turn over. 1, 2, 3, turn over. Nice, easy, smooth motion. And let it drop down. Good. Let's look at the side view from here. Left side in front. Again, body straight and pushing out, pulling in. Backward spin 1, 2, 3. Turn over. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then letting it come down and drop. Okay? Now let's go ahead and take our right leg in front, hands out, going forward, spin, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Nice, easy, smooth, relaxed motion. And down, seeing this angle, out, back, spin, and turn over. Counting either in your mind or out loud. 1, 2, 3 spins, turn over. 1, 2, 3 spins, turn over. 1, 2, 3, and then down. Now, what was the next progression? Is to move up to that 2 and then to the 1 spin. Okay, so let's go ahead and just go through that from a 2, then progressing to a 1. Left side in front, hands down. And progressing forward, pulling back. 1, 2 spins, turn over. 1, 2. Turn over. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Now you're feeling really comfortable with this. You've got it going. Your momentum's going. Nice and smooth. Let's take it to a 1. Ready? And 1. Now you've got your backwards figure 8 motion. Nice, smooth, relaxed position. And then let it drop and down. Good. And let's take it to the side. Left side in front. Hands up. We're going to go start with our 2, progress down to our 1. And out and back. 1, 2. Turn over. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1. Go right into it. And down. Good. Now remember, you want to practice this both with the left sides in front as well as the right legs in front. Now I want to go ahead and pull in close and show my hand motion a little bit when I'm doing that figure 8. Not only am I turning my palm up, then palm down, but I'm also directing the figure 8 motion a little bit with my thumb and first finger. Here, almost like a little bit of a drawing motion. Okay? So imagine you have a pen in your hand and you just draw kind of an 8 like this. By doing this motion, it will help guide the chain whip also with very small minimum motion. So you can watch my hand here. As I move forward, forward figure 8, not only is my hand turning over, but I'm also doing a slight motion with my fingers just to guide the chain in the figure 8 motion. You know, it's just a very small motion here creates a very big motion with the chain. And down. Let's go look at the side view of that. From here, and forward, figure 8. And see the motion. I'm going to overemphasize it a little bit right here. See, big motion here. My hand, down and up, down and up. Now, in reality, you don't need such a big motion. You can keep it a little bit smaller. Just enough to clear your body and keep a nice smooth spin. And down. Good. Let's try one time with our right leg in front here. And pulling back, forward, forward figure 8 motion. Drawing forward. And down. Good. This same technique is done for your backwards figure 8 as well. So from here, you're going to have your hand out. You're going to make your spin, palm turning up and down, and your thumb and first finger guiding that chain whip. Just enough, just a little bit, to keep a nice smooth figure 8 motion. Okay? So from here, keeping our right leg in front, we're going to do our backwards figure 8. And key on my fingers. Nice drawing motion here. And down. Let's go take the side view from here. And backwards figure 8. And drawing circle. And down. Notice I'm keeping the weapon nice and controlled. So I'm not trying to go too fast and swing it, make a lot of noise. Just nice and slow and easy, especially in the beginning. That way you make this motion nice and smooth. Once you have it smooth, it'll be much easier to increase your speed. Now the next spins I'd like to go into is your horizontal spins. When we do this one, we're going to do it stationary like we've been doing our other spins. We're just going to bring the chain whip over here to our right side of our body, and we just swing it all the way across and back. Notice how I use my hand behind me to kind of stop it right now, so that way it doesn't hit yourself in the back. and then down. Okay? So across and down. Now this one I call the inside spin because it's coming towards the inside of my body, here. Now the next one I call the outside spin because it goes towards the outside, towards the back, here. So we're going to do inside, across, and come across again, doing towards the back, outside. So inside, outside. Nice, easy motion. Not too tense. If you have your forearm and your hand tense real tight, you swing, you're going to end up swinging your body, but not the chain whip. You need to feel the momentum. So nice and relax. And feel the momentum across, feel the momentum back. Feel the momentum across, and feel it back. That's it. Now let's go ahead and take a side view of this. Here, starting with the chain whip over here to your side of your body, and you're going to swing across, and swing back. Swing across, and swing back. One more time across, and then back. Okay? Notice the distance also. I'm keeping my hand away from my body. I'm not bringing it right in, because if I bring it right in, then the chain is going to be closer, and it's going to wrap more around my body. So you have to kind of gauge it, and you have to get used to and practice how close you need to keep your hand away. Sometimes you keep it too far away, you may come, and you may actually, the tip may end up hitting you. So you don't want to keep it too far. So keep it nice middle distance, not too far, not right up, nice away from your body, to the side, come across, spin, and you can stop it with your hand, come across, stop it with your hand, and then down. Okay, let's go ahead and take this side over here, starting with the chain whip over here to our right side of our body, and coming across, and coming back. Coming across, and coming back. One more time across, and back. Good. Now when you do this, of course, you want to pick up your speed. You want to make it faster. You want to get that thing to whip across as fast as you can. But remember, take it slow, take it easy. Make it nice and smooth motion first. Okay, so far with all the spins we've been doing, I've been doing what we call a natural stance, where I'm just standing either my left side in front or my right side in front in a nice, comfortable standing position. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through this is your first basic stance, that natural stance, and then I want to show you your bow stance. Bow stance in some styles may be called a front stance as well, and that's just where you have one foot out in front of the other, back leg straight, front leg bent here. Okay? Well, this is going to come in, especially when we start doing more horizontal spins while moving. We want to go, turn around, and hit that nice, good bow stance here. So that way you're not just standing up straight. So not only are you showing off your skill with a weapon, but you're also showing off some of your footwork and your stances and your leg strength. So let's go ahead and take that first figure eight spin, and let's add some footwork to it. Make it moving, okay? So what we're going to do is when we start with our left side in front, hand out. What we'll do is we're going to actually take our chain whip going in our spinning direction. Now I want you to step forward. As you step forward with your right leg, you're going to cross the chain whip across your body, and as so. Okay? Let's try that again. Left side in front, chain whip spinning, just going to step forward and cross over simultaneously as we go. Forward and turn over. This motion. And down. Watch just the footwork. Just a nice, easy step forward. Make sure you don't want to try to take a wide step, or don't be too narrow like you're going to try to miss it. Just natural relax, because your body is the one that's controlling the chain whip. So as you step, you let it control it. Okay? Moving across. If you try to compensate, watching out for it, moving away from it, then that's when you're going to cause a chain whip to go out of direction. Okay? So forward spin, stepping forward, and turning over. Now from here, the next motion, I want you to just turn your body by pivoting your feet towards the back. Pivot and turn. You notice, it may be hard to see from that direction, but now the chain whip is going backwards. Now the next motion what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cross step behind with my left foot. So my left foot crosses behind. Chain whip still going backwards. Now the last position is my turn. When I do my turn, it's just a cross over and turn back to the front. Just as so. Now we're back in the position we started. That's one complete turn. Let's break it down one more time. Just a footwork, okay? We're going to step forward with our right foot. Then we're going to turn and pivot. Then we're going to step behind with our right foot. And we're going to actually break it down even more and do a half pivot, then our full pivot. Okay? Let's do it sideways from here. Left foot in front, stepping forward, cross step behind, turn and pivot, facing towards the back, and pivot again, back to your original starting position, left side in front. Okay? Let's try it. Left side in front. Okay? Chain whip out. We're going to spin forward. And the first step, forward with your right foot, and go. Crossing the chain whip over. Next, pivot and turn your body. Facing towards the back. Now chain whip's moving in a backwards direction. Now, cross step behind, and turn and pivot. Lastly, finish your pivot to the front. So it's a 4-step motion. And down. Let's look at it sideways. Here, chain going forward, and stepping forward, crossing over. Crossing behind, and pivot, and last, pivot to the front. And down. Good. Now, right now, I'm just letting the chain freely spin to my side. I'm not counting, 5 spins, and then 5 spins, and then 5, and 5, or 3. I'm just letting it go. Let it go freely. That way, you will practice all those forward and those backward spins, vertical spins. You get more relaxed, more comfortable with the weapon. So as you're practicing your footwork, you're also practicing your hand with your spins. Okay, let's try again. The side view, I think, is the best for this angle. We're going to go ahead and take it out. Left side in front and spin. Stepping forward, crossing over our body with the chain whip. Turn and pivot, facing toward the back. Cross behind and facing toward the back. Then, lastly, pivot to the front and down. Now let's do it on this direction. Left side in front, hand out, and forward spin. Stepping forward, crossing over our body. Turn and pivot, spinning towards the back. Cross our leg behind and pivot, crossing the chain whip over. And lastly, finishing your pivot, left side in front, back to your starting position. And down. Okay. Now, when you do this, of course, you would like to do it faster motion, smooth motion. So you would try to cut out the spins. So as you go and you get more comfortable, we want to try to make it less and less amount of spins. So as you go, maybe you try to count 2 spins. Okay? Then you step forward, cross over, 2 spins. Cross, pivot, and 2 spins, and finish. So each time you try to minimize the amount of spins you're doing. So eventually your goal should be able to do it all as you step. It should be 1 spin cross, turn, and back to the front. Okay? Let's take that again. As I take my first step, it's going to come around and cross over. First step, cross over. See? We'll break it down. First spin, cross over. Now from here, step forward, cross over. Now we're in this position. Now next, I want you to go ahead and take that cross step behind. Okay? So we're kind of taking out that pivot. We're going to cross step behind and do 1 spin and cross over. Ready? And stepping forward, cross over, cross behind, 1 spin, and pivoting it around. So now we take that half pivot before, turn it into a full pivot. We cross and pivot around. Ready? And spin to the front, cross over step, 1 spin, pivot and turn, and down. Again, step forward, cross over, cross behind, pivot, and turn and down. Now I'm going to take it a little bit smoother, a little bit quicker motion now. We're going to take 1 spin and go. And down. Again, step, cross, turn, and down. Just as so. Let's take it facing this direction. Left foot in front. We'll break it down 1 time. Step forward, cross, spin, cross behind, turn and pivot. And stepping across. Ready? Again, left side in front. Hand out. and spin forward, cross, one spin, turn, and back in your starting position. Okay, now let's speed it up a little bit, and go, cross, spin, turn, down. See, cross, spin, turn, and forward. One motion. One more time, a little faster now. Once we go forward and turn, and around. Now notice these are all done just with my hand, turning over, crossing over my body, turning my hand over, and rotating and my footwork. You've got your forward figure eight now with a complete 360-degree turn. Now you can do the same thing with your backwards figure eight, of course. So we'll go ahead and start here. We'll do left side in front. Start with a backwards figure eight. Okay. Now on this one, we're going to have to kind of reverse the order in a sense. So we're going to turn and pivot our body facing the other direction. Okay. Notice again. See, the chain whip's going backwards towards us. Now when we pivot, now all of a sudden the chain whip's going away, so it's turned into a forward spin. Now we're going to cross behind. When we cross behind, we also want to cross our hand over. So now the chain whip again still going in forward direction, and it's crossed over. Watch again, and cross. So cross our foot, cross our hand, and cross, just like we did in the forward figure eight. Now we're going to go ahead and pivot those feet around, and turn. And lastly, your crossover. Let's do it again. And down. Starting left side in front, we're going to start our spin. And turn and pivot. And cross our hand and feet. Then pivot. And we can actually step forward or step backwards here. And finish. Back to our starting position, left side in front. Watch again. Here, backward spin, turn our body. Cross and cross over our hand. Turn and pivot. Now this time I'm going to go ahead and step forward. Now we've actually moved into an aggressive motion going forward, still while turning backwards. Okay? Let's go ahead and do this other side angle. Ready? Left side in front, spinning backwards. And we turn. Now the chain whip's going forward direction. Cross over, cross our hand. Still going in the forward direction. Now we're going to pivot our feet. And lastly, pivot here, crossing over, and either stepping backwards or stepping forward. And down. Let's try again. Starting left side in front. Spinning backwards. And turn and pivot. Now spinning forward. Cross our feet, cross our hand. Still spinning forward. Finish the pivot. And turn around again. Here. And let's go ahead and step backwards. And back to our starting position. Backwards spin, left side in front. As so. Okay? So as you practice this, you want to make it more and more comfortable, get more and more smooth, and speed it up. So that way you take out some of the repetition of spin. So instead of sitting here spinning, 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 you can actually go all the way around. So you complete your footwork and your spin in as little amount of motion as possible. Let's go ahead and start breaking it down to make it go a little bit faster now. So as we're going in our backwards vertical spin, we're going to turn and cross and turn and step. Okay? Let's go ahead and take that left foot as our pivot point. So we're not going to step forward. We're actually going to step backwards. So watch as I do. Spin backwards. We just turn. Then we cross step and cross over and turn. Now we're going to do, in a sense, another cross step, but we're going to do a full turn around, step back. So our left foot never moved this time. Okay? Watch again. Left foot's in place, spinning backwards, and turn, and cross hand and foot, and turn, and step back. So one whole spin all the way around our left foot. Let's try to do it a little faster. Ready? And spinning backwards. We turn, we cross, hand and feet, we turn, and step back, turn. Okay, try again. Turn, 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 and back. Ready? turn, cross, turn, and back. Now we're going to try to do it as minimal movement as possible. So from here, we're going to go and turn, cross, turn, and back. Turn, cross, turn, and back. And down. Let's go face this way. Left side in front. Going our backward spin. And we're going to turn our body, cross behind, turn our body, and back. Turn our body, cross behind, turn our body, cross back. As so. Let's do it one more time. Backward spin, and turn, cross, turn, and back. As so. So when you do these motions, remember you want to start out going ahead, just let it spin freely. So you get the practice of the momentum, you get used to spinning the chain whip, and you get more comfortable with it. As you go, you can start adding the footwork in, and then decreasing the amount of spins you have to do in order to complete your footwork. Then you're getting more comfortable with the chain whip. So the right leg's in front, and we're going to do our spin. We're going to be spinning backwards. We're going to turn. Then we'll pivot and cross. Cross the hand over. Turn and pivot. And step back. So we finish right where we started. Again, right leg in front, spinning backwards. Let's go through the motion again. From here, we cross the hand over. And cross our leg. And turn and pivot. Cross the hand over. Turn. And step back. Finishing. One last time. We're going to go facing this direction, okay? Right leg in front, spinning backwards. And we cross the hand over, turn, pivot our body, cross the leg behind, pivot and cross over, pivot and step back. And there we have it. Our backwards figure eight with the full 360-degree turn. Okay? I'll do one more time, this time a little bit faster. Spin backwards, and turn, go, and back, as is. Good. Now the next one I'd like to go into is our horizontal spins, with us adding in a little bit of footwork. Okay? So we're going to take our stance here. Now remember I told you about that bow stance earlier. So let's go ahead and take this bow stance. Right leg out, knee bent, chin whip out to our sides. We're going to go sideways. So as we turn, we're going to turn and pivot into bow stance left side in front. Spin the chain whip around, turn our body, and come around. Finishing with our left leg in front bow stance. Okay, let's do it again. Right knee bent, right leg in front, turn, and as we turn our bodies, we do our first spin, step across, step behind, go over our head, and around. Now we want to go over our head so we can coordinate the footwork with our spin. Turn, turn, over our head, and whip down. So we also, by going high over our head and then back down towards our waist, we get this angled whip motion, which we can use to add in a little extra speed. So from here, right leg in front, turn, look, and step across, and whip down. Again, right leg in front, turn, looking over our shoulder, pivoting our stance, step and spin, over our head, cross down. Now this, remember, was our inside spin, coming towards the inside of our body. One last time, turn, look, pivot our stance, spin across, over our head, and down. Now we want to do the same motion, going back the other direction for our outside spin. We're going to start here with our left leg in front, chain whip over here to the left side of our body. We're going to pivot to the right side, spin sideways, stepping across, overhead, and down. Notice how I'm leaving my left hand out to kind of stop the chain whip, so that way it doesn't come back and strike me. Okay, again, left side in front, chain whip pulled against to our left side of our body, looking over our shoulder, pivot, and spin, and down. Again, left side in front, turn, pivot, spin across, stepping across, go over our head, and whipping down. Left side in front, turn, look over our shoulder, spin sideways, step across, go up overhead, and down. Now, these two spins we can actually combine into a little bit of a training tool to help us practice our horizontal spins moving back and forth. We're going to start here, right leg in front, hands over to the side. Look over our shoulder, step across, pivot, step across, spin, overhead, down. Now going back the other direction, pivot, right side in front, spin, go overhead and across. Looking over, back again, pivot, step across, overhead and down. Pivot, step across, over and down. Coming back, around and down, back, around and down, around and down, around and finish. Noticing my stance. Okay, I could be just stepping across in a natural stance, but now since we're doing a horizontal spin, we can actually get lower, closer to the ground without worrying about the chain whip hitting the floor. So let's show off a little bit of our good, nice low stances. So one more time, coming across, look over our shoulder, pivot our stance, step across, bring it up overhead and down. Look over our shoulder, pivot our foot, step across, overhead and down. Very good. So that you can use to practice going left and right, your horizontal spins, back and forth. And use that, come across and whip down, come across and whip down. Give it that extra little speed there at the end of the strike to emphasize your hitting of the target. Excellent. So in this first program, we've gone through some of the basic spins, some of the footwork, and some of the maneuvers using the chain whip. Now remember, when you practice the chain whip, you want to be careful, be cautious. It is a weapon still, and although it's using to defend yourself in a self-defense situation, it can also come back and hurt you if you're not practiced correctly. So take your time, be relaxed, stay smooth, and make your motions nice and clear. It's also important to be careful when you're practicing to check your area, okay? You don't want to be practicing with there's a lot of kids moving around or if there's valuable things around. So you might give yourself plenty of room. This is a long-range weapon, so you got a lot of room to practice with. In the next programs, we're going to be going over some of the more maneuvers using our necks, our legs, our waist, our bodies, and also going to some more advanced spins, some more footwork, and even going into some of the more acrobatic movements with the chain whip. So it's really exciting. Hope you look forward to it. If you have any questions, you can also email me and visit my website, which is johnsu.net. Hope you guys had fun. Look forward to the next one.